So I want to do a little follow-up. So 2 days after I dug up these pepper plants, I put them up close to the house, and last night the frost was a little too frosty for my poor pepper plants. So these pepper plants that I was going to bring in the house and overwinter them and see what would happen. Yeah, that's what happens when you don't follow through and take them downstairs right away. Country lifestyle, trying to get out of the, well, I'm not trying to get out of the sun, just trying to, it's pretty bright in this one spot. It's like the end of October and it's 13 degrees Celsius out here. Absolutely beautiful. We've been getting a lot of things done. So I just showed you a little clip about my little mishap with my peppers. Thought if I had them up against the house enough that they would be okay, but they froze, so I lost my peppers that I was going to try and bring in and overwinter them and see what that was going to look like. So that's not going to happen. And then after that, we actually it's Sunday today, so last Sunday night we had a bear that came onto the property, and it actually ripped off a couple of doors off of the chicken coop. And I'm gonna put a picture in of my husband took the pictures of our chicken coop of what the bear had done. So he ripped off the very back door of the chicken coop, and that's where we had our nesting boxes. And he managed to get 2 chickens by ripping that door off. He also ripped another door off, and I mean, these are all put together with screws, and he ripped right through it like it was nothing. So he ripped off the second door, and I'm pretty sure he got a 3rd chicken, and he maimed the 4th chicken. So not good. So then on Monday morning, when we realized what had happened, Jamie went and got some thick pieces of plywood, and he put that over the chicken coop doors that the bear had ripped off, and he put a ton of screws in there so the bear wouldn't be able to rip those boards off. And then on Monday night, the bear ended up, somehow he popped open the latch on our swinging doors of the back chicken coop, and that's where the main chicken was. We knew we were going to have to probably end up getting rid of it, but he ended up getting that chicken. I mean, I guess if I'm glad about one thing is that he got the main chicken and not another good chicken. So I'm just going to show you what has happened, what we've done to rectify that, and we'll go take a look. So I'm here at the chicken coop. So since the bear has been here, Jamie actually set up an electric fence. This is the electric fence we had for the pigs, but because we don't have the pigs anymore, so we have the electric fence. I'm just going to hop over this. We have the electric fence going around the whole side, down in between our trailer and the chicken coop. So this is one of the doors, the bottom door, and this door that he ripped off here, that door is actually, it folds down, and that's how we clean the chicken coop out. So he ripped that right off. Like if you see here, there's the remainders of the wood that he ripped off. And then if we go around to the back, so we have the electric fence is all the way around the back here, and in the back is the nesting boxes, and this is where we collect the eggs from. Well, he ripped that down, and he got our chickens in there. And then when he came back on Monday night, he actually somehow released this latch So then he released that and it opened the door, and he ended up getting the maimed chicken that was in this coop. So pretty crazy. So what we've done is, see, poor chicken, there's leftover feathers. So we know he got a couple of buff Orpingtons, and then we have black feathers here, so he also got a black Australorp. And then the main chicken was a Rhode Island Red that he ended up getting as well. Another thing that Jamie had said to me was that he read, if you, it's a little windy back here, if you get a pine scented cleaner and we spray it, the bear doesn't like the pine scent. So I ended up buying a bottle of Pine Sol, and I put it into a spray bottle, and I just sprayed it around all of the outside exterior walls of the chicken coop. And since we did that, since Tuesday, the bear has not been back. So thank goodness for that. I know on Sunday, after Sunday night when he got 3 chickens, we kind of figured the bear would come back. So that's why Jamie had put the plywood up and screwed it all in. But then he ended up unlatching that door and he got the 4th chicken. So now we only have 21 laying hens. So we've dealt with that. I think we've fixed the problem. So that is good. So yeah, the poor chickens, they've basically were a little traumatized. I just have some scraps that I'm going to give them. Didn't want to come out of the bucket. So I've given them, I ended up doing some stewed tomatoes. So we have some the tomato skins and some of the pulp from the tomatoes, celery leaves. I picked all my celery up, and so I'm just giving this to the poor chickens. Yeah, they were pretty traumatized after those couple of nights, and the egg production has slowed down a little bit. They're still some of them are still producing eggs, but it has definitely slowed down. When he came back on the second night, I'm just going to shut this door. This is what he did to the top of the chicken coop door. He actually ripped a section off the top, and there it is on the ground. And the funny thing is the only thing that's holding this together is this flimsy little wooden latch, but for whatever reason it was enough. He ripped that part off of the top, but he wasn't able to get in. If he had gotten in there, because he wouldn't have been able, the chickens were already in the coop, and we had the sliding doors on the back side of the chicken coop. They were closed. So the only thing he would have gotten out of the coop was their grain that we feed them. Okay, so another thing that has happened this week was we had another animal get into our berry and fruit side of the garden. I kept saying to Jamie, there's something getting into the fruit side with the berries and that of the garden. And he's like, well, I don't know how they could be getting in there. And I'm like, well, I don't know, but at first I thought it was the birds, but it's just ridiculous how much all the leaves on the strawberries were being eaten, the leaves off of the raspberries, and then I noticed not too long ago they ate all the leaves off of my elderberry plant. So I was just, this is ridiculous. So I kind of had figured that this is how the deer was getting in here, and I'm going to show you. This is just a wire gate that we've been using, and it's worked. And we have a 6-foot high fence. And it goes from that cement wall all the way around. And so I couldn't figure out how this deer was getting in. And it basically has eaten all the tops and leaves off of all of my strawberry plants. I have 3 rows of strawberry plants. It ate all the leaves off of the bottom of the sour cherry tree, ate most of the leaves off of my plum tree, has been stripping the leaves off of my raspberry canes. Like, they're just twigs. And that's what the deer has done. And then look, my poor elderberry, not that you can see much between the weeds, but they've stripped the leaves off of my elderberry plant. And this elderberry plant was growing pretty good. It's so hard to see. So here is the plant, and the leaves are all stripped off of there. This really needs to be weeded and taken care of. Oh, what a mess in here. So I said to Jamie, the only way that these deer are coming in was they were climbing through this gap. Just happened to be sitting on my couch watching some YouTube, and I hear a thunk noise. And I'm like, well, what the heck is that? And I do see a baby deer up in the front, looking out my living room window. I see the baby deer. So I look out, I go out the front door and I look down the side, and sure enough, the bucket has been knocked over. And that's what I heard. I heard the thunk. So the bucket was knocked over. So I come down here, and sure enough, there's a deer in here. Big mama deer is in here. So I took a hammer and nailed them into the ground so that they wouldn't be able to push this lattice down. And that's, you know, what I had to do. Like, do what you have to do to keep the wildlife out of your garden, to keep the wildlife from disturbing, you know, taking away your chickens. So yeah, like I was saying, the poor chickens, they're a little traumatized for sure. I mean, the first day on Monday, there's 21 chickens now. They laid 5 eggs on Monday, and then it was 6 eggs on Sunday, and then we had, on Tuesday, and then 8 eggs on Wednesday, 8 eggs on Thursday, and 9 eggs Friday night, and then yesterday there was only 6. So it's not as much as we usually get, but you think about what they've gone through. I'm not going to hold that against them. So anyways, we had those 3 things happen, and we've dealt with the bear part of it. We dealt with the deer end of it. I'm pretty sure we should be okay now. So now what I want to do in the berry section is add some more dirt around my strawberries, kind of build it up, the dirt in the raised beds, because the deer have been in there and they've been trampling it all down on me. So I'm going to add some more dirt, and then I'm going to put a layer of straw over it and mulch it, so that we're going to mulch it for over the winter time. So I'm going to be doing that as well today. I want to show you something else that I have done as well. So here we have it. Yesterday I came out, it was Saturday, and I emptied out all my pots that were on the deck, and I put it over here, and Jamie will add this to his new pile of compost that he will be starting. So that'll be good to have that, a good start on our new compost for this year. Also, so yesterday I also took care of this. Notice I don't have anything in this corner, none of my ornamental stuff. Look at what I've done. I have organized. I've got all my pots in here. I've got all my tomato cages. Got a bunch of my tools put in there. Got my basket of stuff. I've got more pots. Nothing in behind my door that isn't letting me open my door. So I've got all my pots. Jamie had set up these shelves for me before I even started using this as a garden shed. Did not get, I mentioned about shelves in the back, and he thought that was a good idea, but for now he's got a lot going on. So I ended up getting 8 pints of stewed tomatoes and 1 quart of stewed tomatoes as well. So that was good to get some more tomatoes taken care of and out of the way. And this week I'm planning on dehydrating some of the cherry tomatoes to have them eaten as a snack as well. And really the only thing I have left in the garden, I have still some carrots. And I think it's time to pull out these flowers now. Snapdragons are still going good. Lobelia is still growing good. My how do you pronounce this? I always forget how it's pronounced. And you need the tag. Osteospermum. That hasn't froze yet. I'll put the tag back in there. Pretty cute with the purple flowers. My calendula is still doing good. The rutabagas are going to stay in the ground for a little while longer. The broccoli, I think I'm just going to pull that out and be done. And I still have to pick my kale and chop that up. I did pick some beets, and we had beets last weekend. But yeah, I'm not worried about those yet either, to be pulling those out. I do want to pull out my Swiss chard and chop that up and put that into the freezer. Got my straw over my garlic, but I'll be taking out that sunflower as well. And I'm going to take out this sunflower, and the frost got my holy basil, the Tulsi. So I can take that out of the ground also. And these are my beds where I just did my fall and winter cover crops. Planted those in there. And once I take out my my cabbage and my Brussels sprouts, then I'm going to put the overwinter crop in those beds as well. Yeah, so I think that's all that's going to be happening for today. We've gotten a lot done. Probably going to go and load up some of that dirt and put it on those beds this afternoon. And eventually we're going to take this arbor down as well and put that away over up against where I have my other panels lined up against the fence. And then in the spring we'll be setting that up over these 2 beds, the ones that I have my fall and winter cover crops on. So we'll be setting up those on those beds too. So anyways, that's all I have for this week. Well, I mean, we had a lot going on, but it wasn't really all gardening, and it wasn't all rainbows and butterflies, that's for sure, but we've dealt with it the best that we can, and that's all we can ask for. So thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, put in a like, and if you haven't subscribed, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. So thanks for joining me, and we'll talk again soon. Bye for now.